Okay, so if you're reading the title, you're probably thinking, no, you're not. And I'm here to tell you, yes, I am. I'm making this video for every single person in my life who doesn't believe me because nobody believes me. Mom! I'm making a video! I'm just kidding, there's no one even home. Now, I don't know if psychic is even the right word to describe, my powers, but something's going on, okay? To give you a little bit of a backstory, when I was really little, I would just feel that things were going to happen, like within the next few minutes or seconds, and then they would. Then I just kind of came to a point where, you know, these bigger situations started happening, and I was like, well, I gotta start telling people, because people will need to start believing me so that I look cooler. So that's why I'm telling the internet. Some of these like psychic moments are very like tiny and itty bitty, but nonetheless, they're all important. Size does not matter here on this channel. So I'm gonna start off with like the smaller, tinier stories and then lead my way up to like the larger ones. Like when I predicted that a woman killed her husband, but yeah, just keep watching. Number 1. So I was telling one of my friends about how my other friend Sabrina has this amazing beanbag chair in her room that I would just envelop myself in. So I knew it had a specific like brand to it, a specific name, but I just couldn't remember what brand it was. But I'm telling my friend this story, I'm like, oh, like you gotta know the name of this beanbag in case you wanna buy this beanbag chair, but like it's definitely worth the money. Here, let me text my friend Sabrina about what the beanbag chair is. So I text her and I said, hey Sabrina, what was the name of your beanbag again? And she responds to me, oh my god, that's so weird. Me and my mom are literally talking about how we need to wash the cover right now. I'm psychic. Number 2. So I work at this fast food place called Chipotle. We all have our regulars when we work places, but this woman I had never ever seen before in my entire life. And she was one of the first customers in the entire morning. And she said, hi, I need a bowl. And like, I didn't even let her finish. And I just looked at her and I said, and a quesadilla. She's like, how did you know that? I don't know. I don't know how I knew that. I felt like you needed a quesadilla. And that was really it, but like, we have so many different types of things that you can get at Chipotle. She could have gotten a salad, tacos, another burrito, another bowl, anything. Quesadilla's not even on her menu. Nonetheless, I know. Number 3. So this last summer, I woke up and I was just so anxious. And that's very unlike me. Like I felt like something bad happened. I kept trying to think back to my dreams if anything bad happened in my dreams, and I was like, no. I'm literally just running around the house, like pacing back and forth. I'm like, I don't know why I'm scared right now, but I feel like something really bad just happened and I just don't know what it is. And then my boyfriend texted me. Long story short, he had a job where he had to drive very far away and just like do stuff on the roads. He texted me that he's been stuck in a city for a couple hours because his tire popped and they had no way of getting back, and that they were trying to call people and it just wasn't working out. And yeah, like I just had this like strong intuition that something bad happened. I just could not figure out what it was, and then I found out. And then I felt better. He was fine, but I felt better after that. Especially because I'm psychic. Number 4. Now this is where it starts to get kind of weirder. So basically, I used to work with this one girl at this one place. We'll call it Frida's. At Frida's, I worked with this one girl. It's literally been like 5 years since I've worked at that place. Haven't seen this girl in 5 years. We're just mutually following each other on Instagram. I see her, she's doing her thing, she sees me, she's doing my thing. But in no way are we like actively friends and like talking. So I knew that this girl had a new boyfriend. I just knew this because she would post about how she misses him and how he like writes to her and stuff. So basically I had a dream that I was with this girl, we'll call her Jay. I was like asking her, I'm like, how excited are you to see your boyfriend? You see him so soon, you see him in a couple minutes. And in the dream, she just like looked at me and she's like, oh my god, I haven't seen him in so long, I don't even remember his name. And I was like, okay, rude. But I just kept asking her, I was like, aren't you so excited to see him? You literally see him in a few minutes. Like, aren't you so excited? Like, you're finally reunited with this guy. So I woke up straight out of that dream, and it was the morning, and I just was like scrolling through my phone and I go onto Instagram and her story comes up and she's literally picking him up from boot camp in Georgia from his boot camp training on November 29th, 2018. I don't have any explanation for that. And the weirdest part is that I just kept saying in my dream, you see him in a few minutes. You literally see him in a few minutes. And a few minutes later, I woke up and yeah. And she didn't even post anything like on her social media like, oh my god, tomorrow I'm going to Georgia, like pick up my boyfriend. Nothing. And if she did, like I didn't see it. I never even told this girl about this story. So I'm gonna send it to her probably. If you're watching this, hey, sorry for being creepy. You look good. Number 5 or number 4, I forget. I think number 5. So this last story is a kind of a big one, but it's also kind of like a dark and sinister and like evil one. Basically, at my old job, I had these 2 coworkers. One of them just recently got a new boyfriend. I was asking the other coworker, oh, how did Kay get this boyfriend? Like, how did they meet? My coworker T basically was like, oh, it's kind of a funny story. We both went to this party and she met this guy because he was helping her out because his roommate was basically like trying to fight with her or start problems with her. Things just worked out and Kay is now dating her boyfriend. Later that night on the shift, these 2 women come in. One was kind of younger, like maybe in her 20s, and the other one was a little bit older, I'm gonna say like in her 40s or 50s maybe. I don't know, they just kind of caught my eye, and my coworker T comes out and she's like, oh, hey, and she starts talking to the younger one, and like the older one just kind of like is watching. So when the conversation dies down, they like head over to the drink station. And T comes up to me and she's like, that's really weird, like that's actually like the girl that Kay was having problems with. And I was like, oh, was that conversation like okay between you guys? And she's like, yeah, like I mean, I guess we're fine and stuff. I mean, basically they had problems with this girl, but I was like, I don't know, I don't really see her as the one to start problems. And my coworker T was like, what do you mean? And I was like, I don't know, like I just get some like bad vibes from that older woman. And I was just like looking at her at the drink station and she's like, what do you mean you get bad vibes from her? And I was like, I don't know. I just feel like she killed her husband or something. T just like laughs and she's like, okay, Nicole, whatever. Probably about 2 weeks later, I was actually working a shift with Kay and T, and I was just kind of asking Kay about her like new boyfriend and stuff. And I was like, yeah, T was filling me in about how you had all these problems at this like house party and everything, and like, I don't know, is that like all cool? Like I thought your boyfriend like moved in with you. Is he still living with his roommate? So in this conversation, I found out that her boyfriend was actually living with the 2 women that came to Chipotle. So he was living with this like younger woman and her aunt, the older woman. I was like, oh, okay, like things just like didn't work out. And she was like, no, like they were crazy, like both of them. And I was like, really? She was like, yeah, like just like crazy stuff would just happen all the time and he just needed to get out of there, so like he lives with me now. I did not tell her any of my opinions on these 2 women. I just said that they came into Chipotle like the other week or so. And my coworker Kay tells me that the older woman, the aunt of that girl, the roommates of her boyfriend, the woman that I had a bad feeling from, that she had given her husband rat poisoning in his food, had left to a different country for 2 weeks, and then mysteriously came home to her husband dead, obviously, because she gave him rat poisoning. Nobody suspected that she killed her husband, and that she inherited this home and then was living with her niece and then Kay's boyfriend. And that is the house that they had this said party in. What? I just looked at her and I said, so you're telling me that she killed her husband? She was like, yeah, she's still living her life and like she's not caught by the cops, but yeah, that's what my boyfriend told me that happened. And me and T were just like freaking out. And Kay is like, what is going on? And I was like, Okay, you don't understand. 2 weeks ago, in my exact words, I was like, I feel like she killed her husband. And she did. Yeah. I don't feel good after telling that story. I'm probably gonna call my mom after I'm done with this video. If you like this video and or if you like me, thank you. Still shocked though. I would really appreciate if you subscribed. I just hit 200 subscribers and I'm so happy. Thank you so much for subscribing if you have. It means literally so much to me that 200 people would even listen to me talk. If you have any psychic experiences or any like weird stories or anything, please comment them down below so that I feel a little less crazy. I hope some of you like this kind of story time, conversation type videos. I love telling stories and my friends have to listen to me tell the same stories all the time. I'm gonna go burn some sage now and like call my mommy. Okay, bye.